Hi, I'm Minotaur. Meastro has gradually become a bit of a stinker over the years as Siege has gotten updated. Ubisoft decided to buff Maestro. It got me thinking on whether he's actually good now. It's kind of funny because if you explain Maestro to a new player, they'd think he's pretty strong because he can theoretically kill people in multiple spots around the map while just chilling prone to sight. Too bad he can't really do this. Maestro has a problem in Siege, that being his counters. I'm going to show you a list of every attacker in the game, and when I snap, the ones that do not soft counter Maestro will be hidden. Ready? Now you may notice that nothing changed. That's because everyone in the game can casually walk up to the cameras and just smack them to shatter the glass. Granted, he can open the glass, but he won't be able to see if it's safe to do so. His teammates can't spot through the glass either. Now let's go over hard counters, operators who pose more of a threat, like they can actually destroy the camera. Here's all the attackers again. When I snap, the ones that counter will be revealed. Wow, would you look at that? 19 of 35 operators directly counter this guy, whether by their primary gadget, a Gon 6, or just EMPs. Before we continue, keep in mind that this is what Maestro's main problem is. His gadget is hard countered by over half the operators in the game, and soft countered by the rest. So now that we've identified the problem, let's take a look at what Ubisoft has done to fix it. Drilling projectiles shatter the glass. This only applies to Ash and Callie, who can both just shoot next to it to blow it up. The active and cooldown times mean practically nothing because you never get to shoot a full burst anyway. The evil eye count increasing is actually very interesting though. This is actually my second draft of the script because this solution completely missed the issue, and I therefore just assumed that Maestro was still bad. After playing to get some clips for the background, I found that this change is actually better than I had assumed. The best way I can explain this is to imagine you have two targets in front of you and two chances to hit them. These targets are very easy to hit, but instead of addressing that, they add a third target. So what exactly does this mean? A blast from a Gon 6 will destroy 1/3 of your total utility instead of half. Impact EMPs can no longer take out all of your evil eyes, only 2 of them. Already, we went from 19 hard counters to 9. Since Ash and Zofia only have 2 charges that are destructive, we can further narrow that count to 7. So we analyzed the issue and we discussed the buff. Now the big question, was it enough? I think it actually depends on how you play Maestro. If you plan on just sitting down somewhere and relying on your cameras the whole time, it's most definitely not enough. If you're a totally different breed, I've seen some Maestros place their cams and then just go roam, use them to remotely defend the site. It's an interesting approach, but this buff doesn't make a huge difference to this strategy, and I still don't recommend it because it's just weird. The best strategy I found is the one that champs would probably just go, duh, that's how you play the op, to like not realizing that people have different playstyles. You're now a Diet Valkyrie. Instead of being able to throw your cams, they're bulletproof. Using your mic to call out, you can bring attention towards certain parts of the map that people are playing around, just like a Valkyrie cam. When their back is turned to you, however, you zap them. You can make a no man's land where any drones or intel gathering devices get destroyed by an evil eye. Take attackers going in and finish them off with your main gun. The third cam takes this strategy to a new level as you can cover a wider area, and a cam being destroyed doesn't hurt nearly as much. So I'll ask again, was this buff enough? Yeah, I'd say so. Not only did I do quite well getting clips, but I actually had a load of fun as well, and I haven't had a load of fun with this op in years. And that's when I would have added the outro, but I'm in the editor right now, and I'm noticing that we're only at 4 minutes of video. Under 5 minutes is the point where I think it's too short, so to make up for my inability to yap, I'm going to go over some ideas for buffs that I was originally thinking about before I tried the new Meister buff. Keep in mind that all these buffs are different scenarios from each other. The first buff I was thinking of would be making the glass unbreakable again. I'm well aware that the glass was unbreakable when Maestro first released and it was very strong, but they didn't have the Gun 6 or Impact EMPs in the game back then, and that change did make sense when he wasn't countered by everyone and their dog. The second buff possibility would change how EMPs affect the evil eye. Currently, when an evil eye gets hit by an EMP, the glass opens so you can shoot it. I was under the impression that this was Siege, not Five Nights at Freddy's. Why on earth does a lack of power open something? Why don't we give the evil eye a nap instead? Just Deactivate it. Its default state is closed anyway. Why does it open when it gets no power? The next buff is more of a rework that I'm shamelessly stealing from the YouTuber Kudos, and of course I'll leave a link to that video. The idea is a throwable evil eye. If you could maybe toss an evil eye 1.5 feet up into the air, that would solve the issue of people smacking it, as well as letting Meastro get some better angles with his cam. If they were to do this, they'd probably have to limit the amount of cams back down to 2. The last buff was going to be a rework that dealt with combustible Zazaz, but after skimming through that portion of script, I've decided that I'll spare you the details. Oh. Oh, hi. Yeah. I'm ratting in the bathtub. The Maestro has managed to get inside of my blood, and I'm now a Maestro main. No, I'm not, but that was the video, right? I'm curious as to what you guys have to say about this, because, you know, he is buffed. It missed the issue, but it's fine because he's good now, kind of. Ish. Leave your comment. Tell me what you think. I'm really curious. You may have guessed from my other videos. I like reading comments. So, yeah. Goodbye.